It is 6 o'clock on your Wednesday morning, and yeah, we're timing out the possibility of some more storms rolling our way this morning, Chuck.
Just think about the Pacers, all right?
There we
go. Don't let me be your fear merchant and doom monger. Wasn't that wonderful, though?
It was.
I mean, they were down 17, and I thought, uh-oh, but still thought they could win. They won.
Yeah. Now, I didn't see all the back and forth. I just woke up to see the score and was like, that's what we needed to do.
Yeah,
yes.
Well, it was wonderful, and we'll talk more about that in a bit. But we do have rain on the way, but it's not here this morning. In fact, I don't think you should worry at all about any showers on your way to work or school. It is, though, significantly cooler than it was at this time yesterday. These temperatures continue to drop. Good morning, Greenfield, Newcastle in the 40s this morning. It's 51 in Indy and 54 in Shelbyville, while Lafayette is at 47 and Bloomington on the campus of IU now at 52 degrees. Folks, it is 22 degrees colder now than it was at this time yesterday when it was balmy and we were preparing for all of those storms. There are storms this morning to our southwest, number of severe thunderstorm watches and warnings, and now this line that we'll be watching west of St. Louis from Branson all the way up towards Springfield, Missouri, but not here yet. This will still be an unseasonably warm day. We're going to top out at 74. The average high is 68 degrees, but I do think you're going to need an umbrella later on today. We're under a marginal risk of severe weather here, and let me walk you through what's going on. So this is a look at our future track. Notice the scattered showers this afternoon, and especially from Indianapolis on to the northwest. And watch this front. This warm front's going to move through. We've got a lot more tension in the atmosphere. There will be more showers and thunderstorms pop up, thus that marginal risk of severe weather. Look at these heavy downpours of rain at 1:30 in the morning Thursday. And speaking of Thursday, we've got more rain, more thunderstorms, and a slight risk of severe weather tomorrow. We'll get to that in a little bit. And, you know, I hope your news is better than mine this morning, Lindsay. How are we doing out there?
I have great news.
Great.
Because we can now see the sunrise over the horizon here. Wanted to show you this.
Wonderful.
The very top of your screen. Actually shut the banner off so you could potentially see that. Check it out. This is up on the northeast side of town where we are looking at 69, 465, and of course we're about 45 minutes away from that sun officially coming up over that eastern horizon. Want to take you now out to the west side of town. This is I-70 approaching the airport. Just checked in with the departures out of Indianapolis International. Not only are there 0 delays, there's actually several flights that are scheduled to leave a little early ahead of schedule, so that's some great news. If you are getting ready to head out to the airport in your car from the north side or from downtown, we've got no delay. We'll continue to monitor those roads, let you know if you see any new accidents or issues that could slow you down. Guys.
Thank you, Lindsay. This morning, a new victim has been identified linked to alleged serial killer Herb Baumeister after more than 3 decades.
13 News spoke exclusively with the daughter of this latest victim and the Hamilton County coroner. Matthew Foltz is in studio now with more on who this victim is and what we're learning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you both. That victim has been identified as Daniel Thomas Halloran. Our Jenny Renovitz spoke exclusively with his daughter, Coral, who lives in Florida, who now says the search for her dad is now over. Now, Coral says she got the phone call Monday from the Hamilton County coroner saying that Halloran's remains were found at Fox Hollow Farm in Westfield. He is now the 10th victim to be identified from the site. The coroner says a challenge came with identifying his remains because Halloran's mother, father, and brother are all dead. However, investigators say a blood match from his mother's death investigation led to a match. His daughter Coral now revealing that, or relieved, I should say, to have closure, but she still feels for everyone impacted.
It just makes me like kind of sick and weary to my stomach. Like I just, how to know that my dad was brutally murdered. It's hard. And for all the other victims out there and their families, I'm with them. I'm praying hard for them.
Now, Coral tells us that she is also now taking a DNA test for a triple confirmation for the coroner's office, just to be sure. Julie and Jalea, Coral does say her dad's remains will be buried here in Indiana at a cemetery alongside other family members. Coming up at 5:30, you'll hear more from the coroner and just how many other victims they're still close to identifying here in this case.
Yeah, and it is encouraging to know that this is still going on. So hopefully more families will have a similar outcome. Matthew, thank you.
Well, now to an update about a story we've been following for more than 2 years.
A mother charged in her baby's death is expected to plead guilty to neglect. Investigators believe that Oakley Snow died in February of 2023. Court documents reveal that that's when witnesses told police that they saw someone carry her out of a drug house on the south side of Indianapolis.
Investigators believe her mother's boyfriend killed her and then left her remains in an abandoned home in Morgan County. Oakley's body was discovered in a dresser drawer there 2 years ago.
Snow's mother, Madison Marshall, is now agreeing to plead guilty to multiple neglect charges. As part of this deal, Marshall agrees to testify against Rowan Waters, who was her boyfriend when Snow died. Waters is expected to go on trial next month on several charges, including murder. And also as part of this plea deal, prosecutors are asking the judge to sentence Marshall to at least 25 years in prison, and the other charges against her will be dropped. This morning, the family of a 7-year-old boy with special needs is planning to file a lawsuit against the Jennings County school system. The family says that boy was sexually assaulted multiple times on a school bus by a 15-year-old who is now facing charges. Now, we don't know which school bus the alleged assaults happened. These are school buses that were leaving yesterday afternoon. But the attorneys for the victim's family says that they are planning to sue the school corporation. And in a statement, the attorney said, quote, "The victim's family is hoping that this claim and its publicity will help prevent such a tragedy from happening to another child, while sending a powerful message that all schools should be held accountable for the safety and protection of their students, particularly the most vulnerable, disabled children." Now, we do not identify minors in criminal cases like this one. That teen suspect was in court for a closed juvenile proceeding.
Well, the digital blackmail of children, also known as sextortion, has been an issue for more than a decade. In fact, there has been a significant increase in reports of financial sextortion over the last 5 years. Law enforcement and local advocates last night talked with Plainfield students and parents about what to look out for. Plainfield schools partnered with Susie's Place, a child advocacy center, to educate and empower parents to keep their children safe. Police say predators now have a number of ways to contact children, including through video games and online apps. They say that is how they trick kids into sending them nude video.
It's not innocent. When someone is asking you to start chatting that you don't know, there's a good chance that that is somebody that is trying to get in and do mischievous things.
Now, police suggest all parents and kids never pay these people, even if they're threatening you. In fact, they say don't delete anything and go straight to the police.
This morning, we are learning new details about a crash involving a Jeep and a CSX train. This was on Indy's east side over the weekend. Metro Police now say the driver of that Jeep is dead. This happened on Saturday near North Sherman Drive and Massachusetts Avenue. Police believe that Jeep drove around the crossing gate before it was hit by the train. We are still working to learn more details about the victim this morning.
All right, well, it was a roller coaster ride for the Pacers, but they got it done.
A rocky roller coaster sometimes, but they got this win against the Bucks, ending the series to now move on in the playoffs. So the Pacers made their way back from a 20-point deficit at one point, and maybe even more impressive, down 8 with 40 seconds in the game. That's all I was seeing on my timeline yesterday was yes, sirs.
Yes, sirs. Yes, that's kind of like Reggie Miller stuff down to the wire. 2 clutch defensive plays by Andrew Nebhard, and a critical mistake by the Bucks left it all to Halliburton to hit the game-winning layup, and there it is.
So the Cleveland Cavaliers are up next. They are the top seed in the Eastern Conference. The Pacers did win 3 of their 4 regular season matchups with the Cavs, but Pacers and Cavs game 1 is this Sunday in Cleveland. We don't know what time that game will start just yet, but when it's announced, we will pass that along. By the way, things got a little heated after the game after Tyrese Halliburton's dad got into some sort of confrontation with Bucks player Giannis Antetokounmpo. So Halliburton's dad came down on the court after the game. He was saying something at Giannis, and then Tyrese actually addressed this, whatever happened here after the game.
I had no idea it happened until I got to the back and was showed the video. Me and my pops have talked about that, and I don't agree with what transpired there from him. I think basketball is basketball, and let's keep it on the court. And I think that he just got excited, saw his son make a game winner, and came on the court.
Halliburton's dad has since released an apology to Giannis for his behavior, but tempers were flaring quite a bit after the game. Giannis also got into it with Pacers' Benedict Mathurin then too, as they exchanged words, and you can see there was some pushing and shoving that happened there. So we will keep you updated if anything else comes out from this. But just know that we are moving on, and that's probably the most important
having a night, it sounds like,
yeah. But we're just a couple days away now from the Fever's preseason opener.
The team has a new head coach, of course, and a lot of new pieces to complement the returning stars like Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark. So training camp is so important, and it allows this group to really find its chemistry.
So the Fever welcomed Sophie Cunningham to the unit. They acquired her in a trade with the Mercury in the offseason, and she's confident this group can make a statement in the league. That first preseason matchup is Saturday at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. They're taking on the Mystics.
Well, this morning, the White House and Amazon going back and forth over, you guessed it, tariffs.
At 6:15, here's some strong words from the White House about adding tariff prices to products and the call from President Trump.